No, I just need
Fastest
like
Player Unknown's Battlegrounds win. Who can do it?
oh my gosh, that's a fun game. Anyway,
It's a fun game. You know what else is a
Here
fun
we go,
game? Look
guys.
to the past.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. But our players are off, and we'll see what kind of routing that we're going to choose, that each of the players are going to choose at the beginning. Oftentimes, it's open mode, so the world is kind of open to you, and it looks like both players are going for the same route. What is it, standard?
I have no idea what the standard opening is in open mode, or if there is any variation. We've got some tree poles going
I like
on.
that. We got plenty of fairies. One for everyone.
And we've already seen the most important decision made by Mikan, opting to be the bunny.
That's a good choice. And we got double rubies in the secret passageway. So, what is the new standard for routing in open mode?
That's my question to you. Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, you don't want to like miss the gloves in Sanctuary. I mean, you know,
No.
Sanctuary and Link's House are like the two like first items you probably should pick up.
You can warp right there, anytime.
And I honestly I like the one thing I like about open mode for this tournament is we'll get to see like watching watching people do the exact same route every time with the standard tourney was good because it gave us time to chill, wake up, introduce ourselves, say hi to everybody. But with the open mode, it's just like, bam, let's go. Let's start missing where these items were.
Yeah, we've already seen the players opt to come out of Sanctuary and go right and go left. And now we're seeing some Houlihan shenanigans from Makin. Has no idea whether or not Zora is going to be required or not at this point, but has just decided, I want this money.
It's a good idea, especially if you end up like needing to buy bombs. Like at least that plus the bottle vendor, you're guaranteed to have that already now, which is nice.
We'll see if it helps or hurts as what is required early on becomes apparent.
Yeah. It's either that, you do that, and then you end up with like 2,000 rupees by the end of the game. You're like, why did I waste my time?
Yep.
I personally use Houlihan as not only a means to get rupees, but as a routing option. Because I always start the match in Sanctuary, and then I Houlihan, and then I check Link's House, then I go to Uncle. That is my constant route for a tournament. And look, 300 rupees.
Yeah, Mikan is already surpassed Makin in rupee count. So an early choice not quite paying off, but it's relatively minor in the grand scheme of things. A shovel waiting to be found in the Lost Woods. Mikan's going to be the first one to pick it up, and he's going to try it out right away.
Yep, that's a shovel. Yep, it works. Hey.
Can dig. Confirmed.
I guess now the next matter is if they find another 300 rupees, because then that will completely ruin the whole point of doing Houlihan if they can find another one. But for now, it's a good plan. We'll go with it. We'll work with it. He's got the 500. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I expect he's gonna want to spend this on bombs. Should he sort of clear out Kakariko and not be left with a means to defend himself? Although a shovel, honestly, should be pretty good. Smack some things. I don't know if it'd be sword damage or whatever. But
I would, on my way to Kakariko, well, they found bombs, so it would have defeated the purpose. But I personally would have dug up a couple spots because you never know. You might pull up an 8-count bomb drop or something on your first try. It's worth trying at least a couple times.
The bottle vendors ain't got nothing for him yet, and 3 bombs is some bombs, but you're going to want to be blowing open some cracked walls, and you're still going to be left rather defenseless here, so these players are going to be hoping something is going to be in these couple chests here in Kakariko.
I believe 3 bombs will cover all the bomb walls inside Kakariko for the chests, I believe. But then, if we have to do the maze race, that requires another bomb or boots.
Well, thankfully, the race for a sword is already over. McCann's picked it up in Blind's hut. He's going to have some way to actually defeat enemies without relying on bomb drops or trying to find signposts and whatever he can to throw at things.
Yeah, because otherwise these players would more than likely be leaving Kakariko with 10 bombs so they can actually do mini Moldorm Cave with bombs, which is not ideal. Oh, hey! Sword and Moon Pearl already. Nice.
Lots of options opening up.
I've been seeing Sword and Blind's Hut a lot lately.
Got a hook shot down in Kakariko Well. These guys are missing, like, I don't know, a hammer. And suddenly they've got a lot of options.
Yeah. Here's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for flippers.
Okay.
Or actually, I guess they wouldn't need flippers because they have the glove. But with hookshot, that's screaming at me, hey, you still have to do Agate Tower. Sorry. That's the only way you can get across. So I'm picturing Hammer in the Dark World somewhere right now.
They've also got the blue boomerang. Very important item. Critical. They're going to be very happy that they've found it this early on. Moon Pearl, that's just icing on the cake, really.
Yeah, boomerang is a bit of a game changer. I'm not gonna lie. It's nice having because then that and hookshot because then you could check stunned enemy drops because you never know if those are gonna be like 8 bombs or rupees or something extremely valuable.
King opting to arm himself with 10 bombs anyway as he starts to leave Kakariko.
I mean, who needs money for Zora, right?
Yeah, no one. He never has anything good.
Nothing but life lessons. Hey, we still got plenty of chests left to check. I'm sure we'll be able to get some more rupees.
Pretty sure that it was just a little piece of love waiting there in the library. I thought, yeah, it's going to be checking the race game. There
it is. Nice thing about Shovel, getting on the way through Kakariko, is now you can just route all the way down to the digging spot and clear that off of your mind forever.
Yeah, you don't have to make any hard decisions early on about how you route out of Kakariko. It becomes a pretty safe play to do what Mikan is doing and what Makin is looking to do. Hey.
Okay. There we go. Houlihan suddenly not as valuable. Valuable? There you go. Alright, well, we still have plenty of stuff to check in the overworld before we have to really start making decisions on, where this game is trying to take us. Hammer would be a huge game changer because that would allow us to get into the Dark World from Kakariko or south of Link's house. Players are probably also looking for a lamp, which would technically open up Death Mountain, and a lot of Death Mountain with hookshot already in hand.
So they've both got that sword, but I saw Mikan still pulling up bushes and throwing them to get out of the grove here. Is that actually faster than slashing them, or has he possibly forgotten that he has this sword?
He might have forgotten. Either that, or it depends on which bushes he picked up, because, well, no, he's got full bombs, so he wasn't looking for more bombs down there.
Could just be force of habit. We'll see. Makin has opted to save and quit directly out of the grove, whereas I think Mikan walked down there. Small optimization. Mikan's going to be the first into Mini Moldorm Cave. He's got the hook shot, so he's not going to need to throw bombs at them from across and hope that they play nice.
Not bad. Let's see what we got.
The pattern continues. Rupee, no. Oh. Pretty close, though. If you swap those two chests on the left, you'd be... Heart,
hey,
Rupee, heart, Rupee, heart.
At this point, with green mail and a potentially immediate access to the Dark World, you're going to want all the hearts you can get.
Look at this hook shot going as he clears out all the dangerous enemies around Lake Hylia. Crabs will hit you for 2.
Yeah, those crabs are brutal. Especially up here by Esra Cave. You just gotta be fearless. You just gotta go right at it and just be like, hey, get out of my way. And they'll move. Or you'll make them move.
I mean, they'll move right into you sometimes. So.
That's also true.
If only they were true crabs and only moved sideways. This up and down business, I don't know how I feel about it. OP, I think, is the ruling.
Come on, Nintendo. Get it together.
Yeah, when's that patch coming out?
I know, right? We've been waiting for years.
Infinite
I believe I saw
glitch, all kinds of things.
I believe I saw Red Pendant Eastern, Crystal something at Desert. I might have missed Tower of Hera. So hopefully we'll get another one soon. They're just so quick. My finger's not on the print screen button fast enough.
Yeah, I absolutely missed it. I did see that Mikan did opt to slash a bush, so he is aware of his sword, and that is a very, very good thing.
I acknowledge the existence of my sword.
That's the first thing they teach you in sword fighting class, actually, is that you do in fact have a sword, and you have a sword upgrade, they said.
Nice.
When Mikan arrived, they said, your sword's different, it's blue, it's twice as strong, and it shoots lasers, and all his classmates were very jealous.
All right, now here's the big talk of the town. Sequence breaking in this game. Especially with early Moon Pearl, our players, which looks like what Makin is going to be doing, can fake flipper, not only check the item on Lake Hylia Island, but to go to Hobo, and then not only go to Zora, but check the waterfall fairy chests using the fancy schmancy water walking technique, which you will probably get to see soon. As soon as
Makin can set up,
you'll probably get to see
flippers. Just okay. Can't wait to.
Oh hey, look, Mikan's doing it too.
Just showing off at this point.
It's like, oh, I want to be cool. I want to do it. I like sequence breaking. Now, I like sequence breaking in this situation because you're one item away from getting to the Dark World, and if Hammer ends up being like, imagine a world where the flippers are on Pyramid and Hammer's in the fairy fountain, waterfall fairy fountain. That's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big game changer.
It certainly is. How about the Cane of Samaria? That's not gonna open up too many things, I think, but it is certainly nice to know where that thing is.
Well, just a red potion, but hey, we haven't seen what the sick kid has for us yet, so it might turn into something good.
And now we're walking on water. Woo. I left the high notes for you. That's all. That's how you do it.
That's what I'm here for.
So Mikan did not opt to go check the Hobo. He went straight here, and he's missed out on the Cane of Samaria. I really hope he works that into his route at some point, because that could hurt him.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting going to Hobo or skipping Hobo. I mean, if the players had like boots, I would do that, because then you could boot all the way back through the whirlpool and check Hobo even quicker. And it's some bombs.
The most expensive bombs you ever did see. The wick is made out of silk.
Ah,
solid gold core.
Golden silk?
Yep.
Yep. From our there aren't any Gomas in this game. So they had to ship them in from OOT. It's the only way.
Yeah, that's why it costs so much.
Uh-huh.
Tariffs charges for. Don't get me started.
God, shipping costs these days are just out the roof. Don't even know how to start.
Yeah, ever since the Zora showed up.
Bunch of jerks.
So Mikan is heading over to Sasamsa. And he's going to find some chests for his trouble. Unsure where Makin's heading yet, but he started at Sanctuary rather than Link's house.
Ooh, girl, there's our Titan mids. So that's our Dark World access. Now, will Mikan save and quit? Yes. That's what he did, as I said it. Nothing else. I wonder if, when Makin gets their Titan mids, if they'll elect to go into Eastern? Who knows? It's a tough call.
For now, they'll be happy to find their Master Sword. So Mikan's heading left out of Sanctuary.
Going straight for Village of Outcasts, which is a popular place. And without the hammer, it's the only place that you can go to for Dark World access without breaking the logic. But this is nice, because this means that when these players eventually go up to Death Mountain, they'll be able to conquer all of it? Most of it. They still need a hammer, but it's a good start.
That pesky hammer opens up so much of the game.
Mm-hmm. Man, imagine a world where the hammer is not required. Oh, it'd be great.
So Makin's heading to Hyrule Castle. Tell me about this play.
You know, it's an interesting one. Hopefully we'll find at least something down here. Like a flute.
Wow, big edge over
That
Mikan.
that is going to play off really well, especially because when he eventually goes and gets his Titan mitts, he can activate the flute on his way to go to the Dark World, but then he'll be like, maybe I should go to Mire. So that is a very good find. And with Mikan already in the Dark World, the likelihood of going back and checking escape is slipping. So, I don't know.
Yeah, you almost don't want him to find the hammer at this point. It would open up so many things. It'd bump escape really far down on the list. And even if he does eventually get there, every single second you don't have a flute is all the opportunities you've missed to use that flute and save time in overworld travel.
Especially until we get the boots. It is the next best thing for movement. Mikan electing to not go for a bomb jump to check the big chest. Not a bad idea. It's a little hard to pull off if you don't have the boots. And if you're a bunny.
Yeah, I guess some of the visual cues may be a little different depending on what you're used to. But the boots are very instrumental in setting up bomb jumps by letting you cancel your movement and adjust it by 1 pixel instead of 2 in some situations. Lots of good stuff.
So I was watching Mikan. Did you call if Makin picked up the map? Because otherwise the map's going to be in that middle sewer chest and very much skippable.
Pretty sure it was the map, yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. See, these Gibdos, much like in NMG, I will pull out my blue boomerang and stun them so that they just leave me alone. It's very nice.
Ken's opted to get them stuck in this upper area and get some double hits with the sword spins. Did a pretty good job of taking them out, exploring what he can of this half of Skull Woods.
And that is your swag dug, guys. Let's see where Makin goes first. Because this also gives them access to Death Mountain, technically. So that opens up a lot of options. So it's one of those situations where all of a sudden I have so much of the world open to me. Speaking of open, here's a map. We got
5 and 6 top left corners of the screen: Skull Woods and Turtle Rock, and we got a blue pendant in Swamp.
And green pendant in Thieves Town.
So Makin
I don't
is
like
indeed
that.
heading up to Death Mountain.
I don't like that. I would much prefer. Every time I see Thieves Town as a pendant, I die a little inside, because Thieves Town is like my safety. It's that one place I'm like, I know I can go here, and there might be stuff, and it's okay. But once it's a pendant, I'm like, I don't like this place no more. Get me out of here.
Yeah, if there's a dungeon that you want to go in and check real quick, it's Thieves Town, and so when it's a pendant, it becomes this. It's one of the most valuable quote unquote pendant dungeons, and it becomes real coin flippy whether or not you want to go inside.
And especially if you want to go inside with hammer or not, it's always a big gamble. But hey, we got Old Man with the Ice Rod, which we will be needing to take out T-Rock and Trinex within. But yeah, here's the thing for Mikan. He's diving headfirst into the Dark World and focusing on that, while still having a lot of overworld locations left to discover, which isn't a bad idea. It's not a bad choice at all. Speaking of which, there's the flippers on Spectacle Rock. So, despite Pendant Swamp, we will be needing, technically, the Mire to get the flippers. Huh. Well, now that's interesting to me. Because now, technically, our players can beat this game by just fake flippering. They don't need the flippers, right?
You don't need Swamp, and you can get into Ice, right?
So,
yeah,
those flippers are now optional.
Highly unlikely that the Mirror are also optional.
Potentially optional. We don't know if our players are going to have to end up diving into Swamp for whatever items. But for now, I wonder, interesting situation.
Mikan has opted to head into Thieves Town here. Doesn't have the blue mail that Makin has picked up on the left side of the screen in his Death Mountain adventures. See what this very lucrative room has in store for him. Nothing yet, and nothing it shall remain. So is Mikan gonna finish this place off, or is he out? I don't know.
So he's going for it. Oh wait, no. No, yeah. He's going for it.
Yeah, and it's the other decision you have to make. If you do go into Thieves Town, do you complete it, or do you just grab those 4 quick chests up front?
Honestly, Pendant Thieves Town is annoying, but Green Pendant Thieves Town is a little less annoying. Because, you know, I'd rather have a Green Pendant Thieves Town than a Green Pendant, like, Swamp or Ice, you know, these longer dungeons.
Yeah, the needle of whether or not it's worth it to go in goes one way when you find that it's a pendant, and it's still pretty close to center, and then Green Pendant can tick it back over 5149, making you want to go inside.
But when you have so much stuff to do at this point, I wonder if gambling on a pendant dungeon this early is the right choice. Now, if he ends up finding like the bow or, you know, the lamp, you know, something ridiculous soon, then of course it'll be a payoff. But you still got like Hype Cave and, you know, Hyrule Castle. No, Mikan did go to Sahasrara, if I recall correctly. I don't know.
Makin has opted to flute to desert. Checked out the ledge. Don't think it was anything good. Heading over to Agon's cave. As Mikan is making his way through Thieves Town. He did not get the blue mail before coming here, but he's got a fair number of hearts, so despite the high damage that some of the enemies in here can do, should be okay as long as he's careful. Makin not done exploring Death Mountain.
That's kind of the annoying part about Death Mountain if you don't have the mirror. You gotta kind of route it interestingly, especially if you want to, like... Oh wait, no, our players
I
cannot
take
go
it
on.
back. You just wanted the quick heal, and then he fluted out.
This is his first time to Sahasrara. Oh yeah, because I think he went to Hyrule Castle while Mikan went to here.
So he's going to find the Titan's Myths, I believe. That's going to open up the Dark World for him. Mikan down to 7 hearts as he pulls blind back towards the end of the dungeon. No hammer means he's skipped out on that big chest, and that's going to be haunting him for who knows how long. I
personally am of the impression to always go to Sahasrara before going to Death Mountain. Because every single time I do, Sahasrara ends up having some item that would make my trip in Death Mountain even easier. every time. No, not every time, but lots of times.
We got a blind fight, down to 5 hearts, but that red potion he picked up is going to be able to top him off if he needs it, so he should be okay.
He's got this.
Didn't even need it.
Yeah, unless Green Pendant ends up paying off, or it ends up being a pedestal seat or something. I don't think he found anything in there.
Nope. I think it's pretty likely here that Mikan is fallen a good deal behind. Makin finally getting a look at the Dark World map himself.
Yeah, and that also confirms that Big Chest ends up has some item in it, whether it's useful or not, which is always it's not a good feeling when you leave that dungeon thinking I might have to go back there.
Yeah, I mean, in and of itself it sucks, but it's also just like another plate that you need to keep spinning, one more thing that you have to remember, and sometimes can cause you a whole race depending on what's inside.
Mm-hmm. Oh! A Tempered Sword! Hey, go back and get that magic, Makin. What are you doing? It's right there. Just gotta lift the pot. Whatever. 25 minutes in with a tempered sword. That's really nice.
Oh yeah, we've seen a number of races hit as late as the hour mark without any swords whatsoever.
Oh, and there is the other tunic in the digging game. So Makin will probably end up having red mail by the end of this. So that's nice. That's always nice to have.
Makin's heading over to Hookshot Cave.
I would assume Mikan is going to be bringing the frog with him.
Hookshot Cave's not going to pay off. He's thinking, yep, it's going to save and quit out. Mikan's got himself a frog.
Death Mountain had a tunic and a sword. That's pretty much it, I think. Which is good. It's a very slow walk going through all that. I just feel like Death Mountain is not as valuable as it used to be. I mean, I guess we also got Ice Rod from Old Man, so that's important too. But what happened to you, Death Mountain? It used to be cool.
I mean, it's just part of getting older, I think.
Yeah. It happens to all of us. It'll happen to you.
That's right. You, Fred.
You.
I don't know. Someone out there. No, I wasn't trying to call out the Fred. I was trying to freak out one random viewer named Fred. Chances are pretty good I got one, so.
Hey, look, a bow.
Hey!
Man, that is a popular place for the bow lately.
And he's not done yet.
Oh, and the hammer.
I called it! I didn't see the hammer yet, but wow, alright. So like we said...
See, that's... when you get there and you're like, dang it, I should have done this first.
Yep.
Honestly, if you have the Titan Mitts, because then it's just an easy check just to get back into Dark World Village of Outcasts, I would go down to Hype Cave before jumping into Thieves Town. But so then again, I'd get something like, oh, but Hammer was in Skull Woods or something that you missed. I'm like, okay.
We've got Bow, Hookshot, Hammer, Titan's Mitts, Moon Pearl. Things are looking pretty good. Lots and lots of places for Mikan to check. When do you think he finally heads over to Hyrule Castle? Because there's a flute there waiting for him.
I mean, at this point, unless something... I mean, obviously he's going to need it to do Mire. Unless there's some, like, a boots or something extremely valuable in Mire. I mean, I don't know when he's going to go. Let me answer your question first before I talk about other stuff. I don't know when he's going to go. He might go right now. I mean,
I guess that's the answer that I would expect. Unless you've seen this race before. You come from the future, perhaps? No. Dumb question. The whole point is to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
He's going crazy. What's he looking for?
Is he going to go do... He might go... Is he going to Eastern? He's really focusing on these pendant dungeons. If that's the case. Now, he can do Palace of Darkness, but, oh, he's checking his pendant. Good idea. All right.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Hey!
Another sword. Okay.
Something.
So, good. I personally would have been like, oh, okay, thanks.
It's not the big swing that you're hoping for when someone goes out of their way to do a very early green pendant dungeon. It's not going to lock up the race for him by any means, but it's something.
If it had been like fighter sword to master sword, yes, because then be like, all right, cool, that's I don't need any more swords to beat this game now.
Yeah.
But honestly, tempered sword is really nice. But we know that the other sword is also extremely convenient. Oh, Mikan realizing that this is a pendant dungeon, he doesn't know what to do.
Oh, the music, the light world music kicking in. Yep. Recheck that map. Oh, right. Okay.
He's not feeling that. Well, since he's walking, I'm assuming he's going to be walking down to go into the Dark World and doing Palace of Darkness in the darkness. Which, who knows? It might pay off. I don't know Mikan's dark rooms So we'll see.
Yep, not every player comfortable with doing rooms in the dark, especially some of the tricky stuff, like the maze in the Palace of Darkness. But I guess we're gonna find out. Makin has hit up Hype Cave, he's collected his assortment of items, and he's looking pretty good here. There isn't really much that Mikan has found that he hasn't.
I wonder if Makin will make the Thieves Town play now that he has the hammer in hand, or if he'll. Well, let's look at this. What dungeons are available to them right now that they can complete? Hammer allows them to get up to Tower of Hera now, though it is kind of out of the way. Palace of Darkness is doable if you can do the dark rooms. Let's see what else.
Can't get into Desert yet. No mirror, no book.
Ice Palace is a short visit. And no medallions from Mire. I hope we see... I'd like to see a Mire visit soon. Sooner than later. Oh, here we go. This is an interesting play. I wonder if Makin realizes it's a pendant and will do the same thing.
At least there's no harm, no foul then, if both players make this same mistake.
If they do, then I'm just gonna write this off as collusion, and that these are actually the same person playing two different games at the same time.
I mean, Fiesel just, I mean, it's...
Oh, see? They did it!
Yeah, the same wiggling back and forth, and he's like, well, I'm already here, I'm going in. So we got the alternate decision made in this panic scenario. We have confirmation Mikan is indeed not Makin, though you couldn't blame Fiesel for typing it in wrong, putting the same
I love it when
up
players make the same dumbs. Oh, it's very hilarious.
You gotta wonder if there was just something about the seed that just kind of suggested, like, go here.
I mean, the thing is, you never know, because our dungeon's availability right now is very slim, and this could be a situation where Armos Knights are holding something. It's very, very likely.
The likelihood only going to get higher as players check more and more of these locations that aren't Armos Knights. One item found in the Eastern Palace here going to be the red boomerang, not what Makin is looking for.
I think that's the second item. I think the first item was bombs.
Oh, you're right.
So at that point, you're like, all right, there's only one item left in here.
He thought about it.
Yeah, every move you make is like a potential time loss. Or it could be the greatest gamble of all time. Well, I don't know. Eastern Palace is not really a huge gamble if you make it early on. So we'll see. This might give Mikan a chance to catch up if Pod is the correct answer while Eastern is not.
What kind of overworld locations are left to check? I feel like these guys have picked apart at a couple different places all over, but still lots of holes.
Wow, that is one of the first times I've ever seen all the items that early in Eastern Palace. Well, now I guess the only... Is pedestal seed, maybe? I don't know.
Could be.
Let's see. I mean, we have Pyramid. We have Catfish. The
Northern Dark World, like the... No Mirror, but have they done
or
King's Tomb, that whole thing?
Yeah. Without Boots, they can't do that. Without Cape, they can't check Bumper Cave, so... Agana was checked. I believe it was rupees or harpies or something. Hey, Mire Schmidt, let's go. Come on, something good. Hey, that's pretty good.
Fire Source.
That is true. That is their first fire source and allows them to do what Mikan is doing right now, but even easier. So I would assume Makin is going to be heading over to Pod. Keeps throwing us off by starting at the old man.
Pulls out that flute is going to be taking off. We're going to see is he taking off to 5. He sure is.
Now, I might have missed it, but I did not catch what medallion was required for Mire.
I also missed it. I'm not sure if he checked it. He probably did. Maybe Jack can fill us in. Turns out 250 plus eyes better than
Ether for Mire?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, 250 plus eyes. Wait, no, it'd be double that.
Yeah, well, plus,
everyone has 2 eyes, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this game would
don't have any...
believe that some people only have 1, but...
We don't have any Hinoxes watching, right? You don't think so?
No Vitreouses either.
Oh, that would throw the eye count off like completely. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's really not a good way to measure things now that I think about it. But if you're one of the 250 some odd people who've made your way over to Speed Gaming 3,
we
welcome.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. This is the new underground hipster stream. You're the cool guys.
Don't say that. All right.
We have complimentary flannel shirts and glasses without the last part.
Imported coffee, because we're fancy like that. All right. So far, Pod not shaping up to be anything other than a disappointment. Oh, Mikan. Okay, so either Mikan is not comfortable doing dark rooms, or they were frustrated that they would had to do a death warp there, but had like too many hearts to make it worth it.
Yeah, maybe.
Here we go. The realization maybe Hyrule Castle has something valuable. And honestly, you would think so, because they are missing a lot of items for how many things they've checked.
Yeah, we were talking about, now they've got so many places they can check, and then it turns out that with so many dungeons off limits, they've actually started to exhaust all those things, and so now Hyrule Castle's looking appetizing enough for Mikan to go ahead and dip his head in, and he's going to be happy he did.
It really kind of goes along with how I feel version 26 is themed more towards dungeons than overworld. Of course, we found a lot of good items in the overworld, but it seems to be one of these like scavenger hunts where you find one item to get you to a dungeon that unlocks the next item, which gets you to another dungeon, which unlocks the next item.
What, are they playing the original game here?
Come on, man. But then the problem is players will end up spending a bunch of time checking pretty much all the overworld stuff, looking for that one item that they need to get into said dungeon, and spend a lot of time doing overworld when the dungeons were the answer. But then again, we have Kana Samaria at Hobo, which Makin still has to remember to go back and check. We got Half Magic and Pod. I'm just pointing at the screen now.
Play-by-play is a thing. It can't all be good, insightful information / hilarious jokes. Sometimes you gotta let players know what's going on, and what's going on is Half Magic and Pod, as we saw. Mikan about to finish clearing out some of these chests here in Hyrule Castle. And I guess Makin might finish Pod. We might see... I wasn't keeping track of items. I don't know if there's any left in Palace of Darkness.
Well, since Mikan picked up the chest in the dark, I honestly don't know what he got. But I'm assuming he didn't get anything that remotely useful. But this could be a Helmastar having an item kind of situation. Which, if Helmastar ends up having something amazing, then that could be an issue.
Mikan's gonna be mad, is what that means.
Yeah.
So he's gonna go ahead and activate that flute. 39 minutes in. He's missed out on some of the speedy overworld travel that Makin has had at their disposal, but now that sort of difference has been equalized. What Makin has over Mikan right now is Hobo. He checked Hobo for the Kana Samaria, and some of the stuff up on Death Mountain, which is Ice Rod, which is required, and a tunic and a sword as well, I believe.
That is interesting that Mikan hasn't made his way up to Death Mountain yet.
He's going to be checking Mire's shed here now that he's got the flute, so he's going to be picking up the lantern, which is the other thing that Makin had over him.
And that also confirms that Mire was indeed Ether Medallion required. Chat didn't lie to us. Good chat.
I find them to be rather trustworthy. You wouldn't think strangers on the internet, who are mostly anonymous, would be a great source of information. But it turns out speed gaming attracts the kind of person who wouldn't lie.
Yeah. Now here's the nice thing about these little guys is they do a full heart of damage, even with red mail, which is nice. This could have been a situation where a hammer jump really could have sped up the routing situation, because I believe that they got the big key in the first part of Pod, which would allow them to hammer jump, check the big chest, and then walk through. But I think no, that would have been fine, because they had a small key going up the bridge. So sometimes it's good to know them glitches, y'all.
Yeah, hammer jump. Maybe one of the single most difficult tricks to learn and consistently perform. But showing its usefulness here today.
It takes a very steady hand. Don't touch the sides.
It is the funny bone of A Link to the Past. So Mikan is going back to Palace of Darkness, so if Makin finds something, Mikan's going to find it shortly thereafter.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this having to leave and come back, as well as having to do those dark rooms, bit of a time lost.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much equal, except Makin has been all over Death Mountain, and Mikan hasn't been once.
But here's the thing: look at their crystal counts.
Yep.
0. So
let's all count together.
They're currently tied.
I guess we're done.
That was pretty quick.
Turtle Room, not going so well for Makin, does get it down. Left with 6 hearts, and I think he probably still has that potion in his back pocket, so with red mail, Helmets are probably not going to be a thing. I don't actually know how much damage Helmets does with red mail. Guess it's half a heart. Makin just cluing us in early here.
Yeah,
doing a pretty good job of fighting him.
2 hearts with green mail, so then it's like one heart with blue mail then?
Yep, I think that's how the math checks out. Has the sword out to extend the hammer hitbox just a little bit. Tempered sword making short work of him. So what's he got? You pointed it
I
out.
want Mire. Give me Mire.
Nothing.
A heart piece. All right. Well, crud.
Their princess is in another castle.
Man, that's telling me Tower of Hera might have something valuable at this point.
Yep. I think it all boils down to catfish.
Oh,
that's right. Everything else, totally useless, opens up nothing except for the one item at catfish, which is, I don't know, the mirror.
All that wasted time doing Overworld when he just had to go to catfish. The Triforce was there. Just go there.
Yeah, he's got the whole Triforce. he just spits it up and throws it at you. Mikan also done with his Helmasaur fight. We'll see what he's going to go.
That is true. Our players still also need to check. They'll probably check Pyramid and then check Catfish, usually in the same go. But at this point, I would, since they're kind of out of the way, I'd be like, Tower of Hera seems like a better choice. It's just a long walk to get all the way up there.
Yeah, with no mirror, you can't zip through Spectacle Rocks, so Makin is re-exploring large parts of Death Mountain, unless this is good at least for Mikan. So if he does also decide to go to Hera, which it looks like he has, he can at least be exploring Death Mountain on his way through this trek. Makin's going to be the first one there, of course. having already explored all those things and with a good solid minute head start. He's the first one to reach here, and with his fire source, he's going to be able to go down to the basement. Though the game has seen fit to give him a big key first.
Oh yeah. That kind of is screaming, hey, the basement is important to me. You should probably go check it. With the lamp placement and all that. Because they wouldn't just give you a lamp if it didn't lead to something, right? Since pod led to nothing. What are the dark rooms?
Well, the lamp was in Mire, which you needed the flute and the moon pearl, and those were both obtainable like pretty much off the hop, so
that's true.
You have access pretty quick to get where they are if you were beelining right there.
Alright, so this goes back to that conversation I was starting before. But now I can talk about it because we have the hammer. So since this is Mikan's first trip to Death Mountain, he'll have the interesting choice of how do I route this Death Mountain? I would only assume he's going to go all the way around. He might check these on the way to Hera, and then he can go back and check all the Dark World stuff. But with Spiral Cave as an option, it's like, okay. What? So, go up, check this stuff on the way up, do Hera, then Spiral Cave, then go to the Dark World, then check all the Dark World stuff. It's a little silly, but...
It's at least a continuous path. You're not retreading too much ground the way Makin has been.
And we do know that the basement is going to hold something. So unless Moldorn gives us something incredible, I would highly suggest going down in there. Nice.
Chances that he got something are pretty high. We'll find out in just a moment. Ether.
Oh, that's
the
keys
to Misery Mire have just been handed to Makin. Keys to Maria as well is coming into play. Makin's had it forever with an early trip to the hobo that Mikan has skipped. So Mikan on his way to Tower of Hera, I think, very likely that he will defeat the boss therein and obtain Ether, and very likely he heads to Mire and will be sad without.
Yeah, because that's a good point. He shouldn't have the cane at this point because he doesn't have the flippers.
Mirror flippers. Yeah.
So
cane.
by logic, that means Mire could definitely be down in the basement, or Mire could be in Mire, and it would be like a forced double dip or something.
Oh, that would suck. Or it could be catfish. I mean, I'm already wrong. Our progression item has already been found. But I could be half right, god damn it, and I'll take it.
Come on, guys, just give Mythical this one. He just needs one, that's it.
I wonder if I'm in Fiesel's system as like I'm flagged as something, so I'm not showing up in the auto commentary thing that's being spit out. But I'm here too. My name's in the bottom left.
I promise I exist.
Bottom middle on the left side.
There we go.
Hey.
Alright, moment of truth.
Fire
Ooh. Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Fire Rod, Mothula holding the mirror then?
Could be.
That
could
was
very well be.
Very good check. Because honestly, it would have been so easy just to completely forget that you sequence broke to get the cane and be like, alright, I have the cane. I have Ether. Let's go do Mire. Let's go.
Yep. Showing presence of mind there is Makin. And he could go to Skullwoods first, but he's opted to go to Mire. Take out that bird. No bird toss.
We'll find out what the logic is trying to tell us. I guess it's kind of the fun part about sequence breaking is, or not. Yeah, sequence breaking is you kind of get some insider information, and as long as you figure out all that jazz before it like leads you to do something silly, it's kind of fun to think about, but also very stressful.
Sometimes you just want to focus and play the game. Spend more time worrying about nailing this Mire 2 section. This Makin heads in. He's got sword beams. He's put him to work. Doesn't quite get the last 2 wizard robes, which is really the focus point of that whole room, trying to get them in the first cycle, but still a very quick 2-cycle.
I think the quickest way to do it is a combination of sword beams and fire rod. But I think it also needs boots too. So.
Oh yeah, without boots, that might have been pretty much the best you could have hoped for in that situation. Mikan has defeated Moldom for himself, has gotten the Ether Medallion, as we know from Makin's example, opening up Misery Mire. Now, is he going to remember to check the basement?
Yeah. Big moment right here.
Back in. Nice.
Good. We don't want to see our players make mistakes. No. That'd be silly.
What cruel sort of person wishes ill on these
we want to race
adventures? Yeah.
Gosh darn it. We want a 4-second finishing difference. That's what we want.
Yeah, I think deep down that's what everyone wants. Secondary to that is that they're required to jump through the most ridiculous set of hoops that could possibly be constructed. But that's the second priority. The first priority is we got ourselves a good race.
Oh, Mikan talking to us from beyond the screen. Mikan has apparently fallen asleep. Rest in peace.
Well, attempting to call it by naming the most common item that can be found.
Oh, well, there's your answer. Mire had nothing and a bottle.
I don't want to give it too much credit because I don't want people to make a habit out of putting stuff up on their streams. But
yeah, don't do it, guys. We're gonna yell at Mikan. He's actually already disqualified.
Yeah, he's out of the whole thing. It's a shame. We didn't clarify on the rules, but we'll be changing the rules mid-tournament the way everyone loves. He'll be disqualified for... No, none of this. Moving on.
You guys remember progressive swords? Well, we've added something even better. Midway through. Progressive boomerangs. Let's go.
I love it.
Good.
Progressive medallions. Yeah, did you know? Bombos better than Ether, better than Quake.
You gotta trade them in. You gotta go visit Ravio or whatever and swap out your medallions. You can only hold on to one at a time, so... That would be... that sounds horrible.
But if you pay 2,000 rupees, then you can collect the whole set. And
yeah.
Carry it all with you at once. Yeah.
And rupees are free, so, you know.
Also, you can donate to Speed Gaming for 500 rupees in-game. Yeah, but there's an exchange rate, best value, 5,000 rupees. So we're very pleased to announce.
Is this a sellout stream? Is that what's happening right now?
Yeah, Speed Gaming, we're on 3 now, man. Are you kidding? This is the direction of the channel.
So Speed Gaming 3 is the sellout channel. Oh, right, got it.
Yeah, there's no telling how far we'll go.
There's no telling what that catfish is going to have, too. I wonder, will we be seeing catfish ever?
Well, maybe it depends what Vitreous has. Makin's in the fight. He's opting to go with tempered sword spins. And he's not getting too crazy.
We know Vitreous is going to have a crystal. That's for sure. As for an item,
crystals.
No.
Crystals are good. Crystals are what matter. This fight's been being drawn out here a good deal. Kind of playing very safely. Doesn't want to step into the goo to get those really big, juicy sword spins. Yeah, maybe he's not wearing protective footwear. Doesn't want to get his socks all wet.
Apparently, T-Rock requires bombos. Good to know.
That is good to know.
Alright, so that means Skull Woods might be the correct answer for how to get those flippers.
Yeah, they're running out of places.
Yeah, and everything that Makin just did was a sequence break. Well, at least killing Vitreous was a sequence break, so...
The sequence remains broken, much like jumping ahead a couple numbers in a connect the dots. You can sometimes gain a clearer picture by sequence breaking.
I'm just gonna place 4 dots in a row, if that's okay, and then you can have your turn. That's how it's played, right?
Oh, I was going with like those drawings where like you literally draw from 1 to 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it makes a sailboat or whatever. Not connect 4. That's
I'm sorry.
You went a different different way with it. It's okay. It's all. What do you even call that when you draw by numbers? Is that it? I don't know. I'm curious now. You crowdsource these things and then answers surface in chat. It's wonderful. Mikan into a dark death mountain now. No mirror, so he's not going to be able to get those flippers that he may or may not even know were there. I can't remember.
All right. We're also seeing a sequence break from Mikan, taking out the spike cave. He's got the health for it. He's got the hook shot. And he's got a red potion if necessary. But
Probably
yeah, he's going to end up having to use that.
I wonder if he was sure that he had it when he went in, or if he was like, I hope I don't. And then, oh wait, last minute remembered. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Either way, we might have saw those capital A's come back up on the screen. If that was the case.
Either way, nothing of value was found in there. And we've actually already seen the beginning of Skull Woods by Mikan, so we know that... actually, I don't know how many items... I don't know how many items they found, but yeah, the back half is going to end up having at least 1 item, maybe 2.
Compass in the big chest for Makin. Leaning more towards 2 items rather than 1. Mikan also, with the fire rod, is going to be heading up to Skull Woods, opting not to go to Mire, which it seems to have been the correct play so far. I mean, what? I guess if he found boots or something before he went to Mire, that would make his Mire faster and would make this a better decision.
Well, let's see. We still need Bombos, Mire to get flippers. Oh wait, we could actually, with Swamp Palace being a pendant, we might technically not need flippers or Mire.
In which case, it's just Bombos for go mode?
Yeah. Unless Desert Palace... Oh, we still need a way to get into Desert Palace, so Mire might be required, or Book. And then boots might still be required. Okay, anyway, we still have some potentials that we don't know about yet.
Some question marks still remain.
Yeah.
Makin's about to fill some of them in. He's opened up the back half of Skull Woods with his fire rod, and right behind them is Mikan. Players are syncing up nicely. There's lots that, well, it's basically just Mire, I guess, that Makin has done that Mikan hasn't. But they are awfully close for the time being.
And Mire's not one of those dungeons that you don't really often get to go mode. Or because of the big key location, you might be able to skip like 1 chest or 2. You want to get those free Mires where the big key was in like the spike room or on the bridge. Those are always nice. I miss those.
Especially if you know how to hover. Which I don't think either of our players do. We got ourselves a Moth of the Fight. Fire Rod's been pulled out for this one, but Mothula's hanging out on the right side of the room. Get off the spikes.
He's having a party.
To the left, said Beyonce and Makin.
Good boy.
So many hits out there.
Look at that synchronization.
Nice job. Hey, not what the players are looking for. So Mikan probably going to be heading to Mire then, which we know not holding the progression item. And
was that the second item?
What is? Oh, you're right.
They still have one more chest, but I don't know if they already found the other item in the first part.
They're both going back in.
And they'll definitely save and quit after this. Because nobody wants to walk this back unless they get Mire.
Oh yeah, if they get the Mire, then they might want to check the pedestal. I don't know. Bottle.
Wow.
I mean,
this is a frustrating situation where you're like, I know what the game is trying to tell me to do, and then you're like,
go to Mire. Oh, okay, but it also had the fire rod, so it's saying go to Skull Woods. Okay. It's saying go for a walk in the backwoods and see the catfish or something. What is it saying?
Wait, you want me to turn off the game and go to bed? Okay.
No, that's just your mom, actually. That's her voice. The room across the hall.
Okay, well now, all of a sudden, that Thieves Town big chest is looking pretty spicy right now.
Oh, man. Well, Mikan's heading to Mire.
But yeah, we still do have Pyramid and Catfish.
Makin's in Village of Outcasts. What's he looking for?
Ooh, Peg Cave. That's a good one. I don't think Makin did... This is his first time in Village of Outcasts. So he hasn't done any of this, I don't think. I might be wrong. I know he hasn't saved the frog.
Yep, he has not done that.
Or gone to Digging Game because he has Tempered Sword still. Or...
No, that was a male.
No, that was a male.
Yeah.
I take that back. So he has done some of this.
Has been there, so he's definitely been in the area, if nothing else. And now he's spending all the time hammering those pegs without the boots for nothing.
Okay, he did save the frog. All right, I'm getting my games mixed up. And we know Purple Chest didn't really have anything, right?
I don't know. I feel like that's the first time I've seen the Purple Chest.
Man, I'm doing so bad. I'm sorry, guys.
There's so many matches. If you watch more than one match before you commentate, you're done. There's no way you're gonna get everything. It all just blends together.
My situation was staying up for 40 hours.
Jesus, man.
Sleep. Yeah, it was a bad call. But when you got a secondary tournament to help run, it's hard to put that down.
All right, well, shoutouts to Will J. Bradley for keeping it going here. Thankfully, we've got ourselves such exciting action. How could you possibly want to doze off in the middle of the stream?
Oh, I'm awake. I'm wide awake. I got my coffee. I'm good to go. All right.
Chat's pointing it out, and I'm just gonna say, I called that catfish a pretty long time ago, but it's looking more and more like could be the answer.
Thieves Town Big Chest. That's where I'm putting my money. I guess, checking Pyramid and Catfish are just, especially without boots, are just such slow and out of the way options that it's really hard to route that unless you are like doing the big bomb or something, or you're forced to do Agatower. It's hard to make room for those.
Yeah, and Big Bomb's not going to be an option with Turtle Rock being crystal number 6.
I mean, they're just a bombos away from doing Turtle Rock, so if Thieves Town Big Chest has bombos, it's a game changer right there.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, don't you need the mirror? But no, you don't. It's the other way around.
If I recall correctly, the dark chest in the sewers of Escape has a dungeon map.
Yeah, that's what we were half guessing based off of what we thought we saw.
The bits and pieces of this seed that we've been watching.
Mikan was looking a little lost down on Lake Hylia, and when he fluted to Link's house, or Save and Quit rather, I thought maybe he had found some purpose, but just dancing around the Dark World entrance and then fluting back to Lake Hylia, he is again looking a little lost. Oh, he is going to be fake flippering here as if you go into Hobo.
Oh yeah, I forgot they hadn't done that yet. So once he does this,
Or he could go to Ice Palace with his fire rod.
Okay, this isn't a horrible play, but we know it can't be the mirror. Obviously can't be flippers. But he could find something like a book. Maybe
a book and the only thing that lets him get into Desert Palace being that book. That could be a weird one.
Yeah, he might just be jumping several steps ahead, but this might not be the worst play, and he can complete all of it.
Also, since he's got the fire rod, he could also find Bombos in here.
Mm-hmm. So this might be it's an interesting play. It might pay off, or he could full clear it and find nothing. Who knows?
Ice Palace is a dungeon that you usually want to be sure of the state of things, I guess, before you go in. You don't want to have too many question marks circling around Ice Palace. When you're in go mode, it's so much faster and easier. But Mikan has opted to brave it, looking for something. I think there are only 2 items in Ice Palace.
Yep. Wait, 3 items. 3 items in Ice Palace. Alright, let's find out what that big chest has. Come on, Bombos. Or Mire.
It's gonna have the magic cape, and it's gonna be like...
Or a red rupee.
Oh, you called it!
Wow. Alright. That is a huge... And he's electing to not finish the dungeon. Oh, now I want it to be a pedestal siege, just so he has to go back.
Yeah, that'd be something. Mikan gets burned for going in without the hammer and missing the mirror, and then Makin gets burned for not finishing the dungeon and missing out on a...
See, that...
Bombos.
That is a brutal situation, because of all the items to get, Mire is kind of like, oh no, I have so many more locations to check now. Like, it's a good and bad thing, I guess. Because he's like, well, now I can get the flippers, but now that opens up Pendant Swamp, which nobody wants to do Pendant Swamp. So,
there's so many items.
He'll more than likely go around and check all these overworld locations. As well as Desert Palace, so...
And Desert's a crystal, and it doesn't have any boots, so he might be prioritizing checking to see what is up on that torch to know if he can complete it or not. He sure is. Just a compass. He's also got all the fire sources in the world. Bombo's fire source? No, it's not. Not in terms of lighting torches. So he's going to be able to finish this dungeon off as we can. Starting to make his way to the other side of Ice Palace. Can book be on pedestal? I thought it was part of...
It can.
It can. Well,
there it is.
Is the Bombos.
Alright. The logic's starting to all come together. So that means...
That's pretty much it, isn't it?
That's a T-Rock for us. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, that is it, because that gets us flippers to go do Ice Palace, and Bombos to do T-Rock, and yeah, we're in go mode.
So Makin off to the races. Mikan is stuck in a horrible, horrible Ice Palace, looking for things we know he'll never find.
This is why you wait till you get a hammer to do these down. Because we all know, honestly, like, going back and checking the Thieves Town Big Chest when you have so many other options is such a low priority. Because it's a long walk, and it stinks. It stinks.
It stinks. It stinks.
So,
there's no other way to say it.
This is real rough for Mikan at this point. And this is also an example of why sometimes sequence breaking can hurt you as opposed to help you. It could lead you down the wrong path. It could make you go to the wrong dungeons. So, but at the same time, it could also help you. Just not in this situation.
Yeah, it probably helps as much as, if not more, than it hurts. At the end of the day, you don't know where the items are going to be, and if you can do one thing to check more locations more efficiently, that's going to win out in the long run. And if that thing involves sequence breaking, I say do it.
Something else to note is that despite getting the map or the mirror, the first thing that Makin did was go to a dungeon, and the dungeon had the next item. Once again, showcasing that these dungeons are pretty important, I guess.
Yeah, that mirror opened up what? You've got the the flower ring cave, and you've got the cave in the northern cliff near Sanctuary.
Now this is
Magic
interesting.
bat.
I wonder why he's actually getting the flippers.
Maybe
He's
he
already-
doesn't believe in.
he's already
in
fake
sequence
flippered.
breaking.
Yeah. These aren't necessary. These are just a little bit of...
Well, he did. I don't know. He took like 3 tries to get it, so maybe he like is really bad at it. But you'd have to be really bad at it in order to make this worth it. I don't know.
Yeah, interesting choice. But
Got a cold
What
steer
a-
fight for Mikan with the gold sword, perfectly corralling them into the corner. A glorious fight.
getting hit by one more icicle on the way out.
Yeah. Sadly, this doesn't matter how well he does fighting Cold Stare. He is facing some nigh insurmountable odds right now with the items that Makin has found.
And the problem is he still needs to fake flipper. He still needs to go to Hobo.
Yeah. He
As
was
well as-
so close.
Big chest, yeah.
He's
Oh,
definitely a little frustrated.
I don't think Mac can realize that this is a pendant dungeon. Maybe that's why he went and got the flippers.
That would
'Cause
do it.
He's already made the mistake of going to Eastern thinking it was a crystal. So, guys, this is why you write it. You write it down. You write down the dungeon so you don't ever have to make this mistake again. I'm expecting him to completely turn around and leave after
Yeah,
he
and
goes
we'll see.
inside.
He's already noticed the music and turned around once before. We'll see if he does it again. Yep. Man, that water was cold. Oh, man.
Oh man!
In and out. Whew. All right.
Check your map. Check the map. Goof. That's pretty funny.
Yogi the Monk did something that I thought was pretty good, where he had like a mat, and I don't know what exactly was on the mat, but I doubt it was a printout of the whole world map. But he had poker chips, red, blue, and green for the pendants.
That's awesome.
And black and white for crystals, and crystals 5, 6. And as he found out which were which, he would throw the poker chips around the mat.
Bit of an overkill, but I like it. Alright, looks like we might be seeing your precious catfish, which we know at this point will probably be useless. Unless it's like boots, which would be hilarious, but also useless.
Some soggy leather boots to help Mikan run around even faster in all the wrong directions. He's running out of wrong directions.
Mm-hmm. But that Thieves' Town Big Chest is also one you could easily forget. But he also hasn't been back. He'll probably go back, check the peg caves, get nothing, and be like, alright, I guess they'll go back in and do this.
It
But
could
going back inside, not only Thieves' Town to check the big chest, but Pendant Thieves' Town to check the big chest is soul-crushing. At least it would be for me. What's it gonna be? It's a heart.
be. He loves
Good
you.
call. Good call, Mythical.
He loves you, but only a little.
Oh, yeah. Just enough.
We don't love him because he's got nothing we care about. In the game of A Link to the Past, love is it's helpful, but it's just one small tool needed to win. It's a little soulless, but it's the mindset you gotta have if you want to be the champion.
I 100% agree. Alright, Mikan. Where are you going, dude?
He's so close.
And now the other problem is, as soon as he eventually gets the mirror, you gotta make the right choice of where to go next.
And then even when he does make all the right choices, he's still like 10 minutes or
Mm-hmm.
something behind. Well, Mekan's doing Ice Palace, which Mikan already did. But Makin has done Mire.
What is the time difference between a full clear Ice Palace and a Go Mode Ice Palace? It's gotta be like
2 minutes?
Feels like it's gotta be more than that, right?
Could be.
Oh no, he's gonna do purple chest. No!
Yeah, he had two options, things to check from that place, and honestly, it's a lot faster to check purple chest than it is to go all the way back in Thieves Town.
Yeah.
And now that he's nowhere near Village of Outcasts, pretty much everything is less time than going back into Thieves Town. See what kind of cold steer fight Makin can get. He's opted to use the Fire Rod rather than the Tempered Sword, so they got away from him a little bit once he pulled it out. But he tracked him down around the outsides of the...
And with that half magic, it's a free fight.
Yep.
Well, hopefully Mikan doesn't, like, go into Eastern or something like that. He's gonna go check Agana. Which I'm sure would also be a awful location to get to get a roadblock. If stuff ends up being in here.
Yeah, he's getting to the point where he's not going to be happy whether he finds it or doesn't find it at this point.
Speaking of...
Yeah, and if he's not happy, no one can.
Oh, poor guy.
Makin's putting all those extra rupees he picked up to use, picking up a potion.
Makin making his way up to T-Rock, and then the eventual G-Tower. Well, Mikan needs to go to Thieves Town, get his Mire, and then to get his Flippers, and then to get his Cane of Samaria. But at this point, I feel like he's had to have, like, forgotten entirely about Hobo, maybe.
He's had to remember so many things. Right, so we were pretty sure that this was just a map.
This is that desperation moment where you're like, I don't remember stuff, so I'm just gonna check to be safe.
Yeah, Mikan has already had a couple moments where he's hesitated. He's done the Wiggletron of frustration back and forth. Mm-hmm. So he's both he's a little tilted just emotionally, but he's also being taxed mentally. So it was an item, wasn't the item he needs.
The commentators were wrong? Never. The game was wrong. That was supposed to be a map. Game's broken.
Yeah,
Vitor.
That was a bug, actually. Yeah, better report that. Good thing we were here.
Yeah, good thing. Here to the rescue.
Mikan is in the light world near
this might be it.
Thieves Town. Makin's heading to Turtle Rock. Last dungeon left. As it usually is. As you hope it is. If you have to do it at all. He's going! Mikan is taking the correct path. A number of opportunities still before him, though honestly not too many. He's starting to have exhausted quite a few things in this game. But from the remaining ones, he has finally chosen correctly to go back and check the big chest here in Thieves Town. We know it's got the Mire. We know the Mire is the key to progress.
And he will definitely be feeling it once he grabs that. He's going to know, wow, I messed up. Yeah. He didn't mess up. He got unlucky. Because everything in this game is a choice. Every decision is like pretty much a choice. There's no right or wrong. It's just good or bad.
Yeah.
Luck or unlucky. So, and he just unfortunately got unlucky. Because there's a lot of times players will go... Where's Makin going? That was a quick T-Rock.
Not Turtle Rock. He's going to the cave he's already checked. So we can bomb this and go
on the island?
To the islands.
What was on the island?
Couldn't tell you. We're about to find out. Could it be like a potion or something? Like
maybe. He has a red and he bought like a blue or two.
Yeah. All right. Gets himself the magic cape. A safety item he deems worthy.
That's actually really good, because that laser bridge may or may not come into play. That is very interesting that he remembered that on the way up here.
I bet he wished he remembered before he opened the dungeon and went inside.
Yeah, a little bit of a time loss having to backtrack to check that, but... Oh yeah, and he... Yeah, that is true. Cape is also nice to have. Cape and half magic is really nice to have for phase... Mostly phase 2 of Ganon.
It's not bad for something like the Chain Chomp room either. And the magic powder inside the dungeon, another safety item acquired. That's going to help him.
Here's what we were talking about earlier. It looks like Mikan is checking some of the overworld stuff before committing to like a dungeon or whatnot, which isn't a bad play. It's just unfortunately the wrong play.
Chain Chomp's not so scary when you've got the red tunic.
And it is Quake. The wrong useless medallion. Wow, that's kind of funny. That could have easily been Bombos. Very easily could have been Bombos.
Yep. And how long would it have taken Makin to go check that location? Could have had a reverse situation on our hands.
That's true. Alright, looks like he's gonna check out Desert. Now here's the problem. He did not pick up the flippers while he was up in Death Mountain. Which tells me that a hobo might not even be in his mind at all. It's an easy one to forget later in a run.
Could be. I mean, he also doesn't necessarily need the flippers to go see him.
Mm-hmm. Bugnet.
Nope. Not interested in such a measly safety item. Makin putting the powder to work, showing the usefulness of said safety items all the way back up to 15 hearts.
What I'm thinking is that maybe Mikan normally checks Hobo in his fake flipper routing. Like, because I personally will always swim up, check like Hylia Island, go to Hobo, then do Waterfall to Zora, if given the opportunity. And maybe the fact that he skipped it, his muscle memory might be telling him, oh no, I already checked Hobo. That's done.
It's mentally crossed off the list. Maybe he's, switching from one routine to the other like he usually checks Hobo, but, the past 2 races or so he's been trying something where he doesn't and he saves it for later. Who knows? But he definitely swam up to the Lake Hylia item, saw it, and then turned around immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So
well,
it seemed like a practiced move there.
Yeah, that's true. Thankfully, getting Bombos here isn't going to send him into T-Rock, because he's missing the cane, so that's not the end of the world.
With Makin's arsenal of safety items, it's missing that net, and he's probably not going to find it, but he's got a healthy sword, tunic, shield, potions, cape, powder.
Oh, yeah.
The odds of the tragic death costing minutes are pretty low at this point.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's also worth noting that the cape was a good idea, because he will be having to do the laser bridge to get an item, so that cape was part of the requirement to complete this dungeon, since logic was put into place for laser bridge to require certain safeties. Question is, where is that other shield? That's the most important question right now.
We may never know. Makin's managed to get himself pretty low on magic here, but the refill just outside the boss room means he's going to be a-okay. Mikan's up on Death Mountain. Did he finish Desert Palace?
I don't think he did. I think he got the item and left.
Well, it was a crystal, so he's going to need to do that at some point.
Yeah, that's... Oh, wait, hold on. No, don't go to swamp.
The same mistake again from both players?
This, I don't know, this might actually be a legit intentional choice. If Hobo's out of the question. Because what other choices does he have right now? And, well, yeah, he said...
The choice to finish Desert Palace while you're there was probably the right choice, but...
Yeah, I mean, he knew that there's no... He got both items, so I guess he's focusing on getting the items right now.
Need that crystal eventually.
Yeah.
What are you going to find that's going to speed that up? I feel like he's just rattled at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So he's using that mirror to check yet another location that had been barred to him for most of this game so far.
No, I don't think either of these players need silvers.
I think you're
I
right.
can assume that anybody in the main tournament are very capable of doing silverless. Alright guys, it's that time. Where do you think that pesky old big key is going to be? We had a towel room already today. At some very early. Will we see it there again? Do you think it's going to be in the rando room? Or are we going to have to go kill Ice Armos first?
That's what I'm betting on. My magic number is 19. I say it every
19.
time. And 1/22 of the time, I'm right. It turns out.
It's pretty good odds.
Makin is going right first, and he's running right through the tile room.
And Mikan is going for the full swamp. Oh no. This was a choice.
Yeah, this is not a mistake. It's not like he hasn't heard the music or anything. The swamp has a lot of items, and he is still missing one, so he is here looking for it.
Yeah, that's just the thing about Randomizer is a make or break moment could not come down to just one item location.
Honestly, it often does.
That's all it takes. Yeah, and it's sometimes it's like even the most obvious. Oh, there's no silvers. Nice. And our book.
Something to read on during the cutscene. You know, when the bat goes flying. Nice to have. What do you think? What do you think Ganon has on his bookshelf? I bet there's like some self-help stuff there.
Some Garfield
like
comics.
I was thinking more like how to conquer the world in 10 easy steps. How to be more fearsome.
How to stomp on the ground really loud and shake the whole room.
Or maybe it's like
I mean, he's obviously got to have some, conjuration skills or something to conjure up those fire bats.
yeah, a book bound in the skin of virgins or something.
He is actually a wizard.
Yeah. But I bet there's also like some Harry Potter or something on there.
I'm also a big fan of Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and
I was into magic
games.
and everything before everyone else was.
You see him like grab the Twilight book and hide it behind his back. It's like, no, it's my niece's. Yeah.
I added it. I bought. It's ironic. It was a joke, a gag gift.
I bought it ironically. He says it really loud.
I thought it was tonight, not Twilight. Yeah. Imagine. Oh man.
I misplaced my glasses. Hold on one second. Man. I don't really care about what Ganon reads. I want to know where he hides that big key. Where that at?
Yep, we're down. How many? 9? 7? 9.
6, 5, 4, 3.
Some number of locations. It is not in.
Tile room is looking pretty snazzy right now.
Another big cache of potential locations opening up here for Makin. Arranged in a nice little square for some of the most useless things you could possibly find in a set of chests.
We have 4 more chests, and then it's tile room.
On the bright side, Makin won't get lost now that he has both the map and compass.
That's true.
He's going for an Argus kill here. It's not going so well, but he is going to get a 2 cycle.
I also didn't see Swamp have anything, for the most part.
I mean, there's not really too much left that it can have at this point.
Oh, I really hope that Mikan's not going for the pedestal pull. Because late into a game, you start to think, oh, maybe it's a blind pedestal pull required seed. Which would be awful. I would hate to see him go to Eastern next. But he's kind of running out of choices, so it might be his next best bet. Because I don't think he's been in... No, he didn't do Eastern. He stepped inside of it, but he didn't finish it.
Yep. Makin finally has taken out Isermos and has earned his key. And I think that was what, 20?
Yeah. Was it 23 in the first?
I can't remember. It used to be 22 and then they changed things on me.
So close. You'll get it next time, Mythical. I believe in you.
It was 19 because he didn't do Tile Rune.
Ah!
Yay!
You did it! Yay! What's your prize? What do you want? Name anything.
A chicken dinner.
Yo, you want to play some PUBG?
I do. But it's not important right now. What is important is Makin has got it in the bag, pretty much. Mikan has cleared out most of Swamp, which we know has nothing, and has gone back in to explore even more of it as Makin is cruising through the end game.
Now the question is, where are those boots? Where are they at? Because we've seen almost everything at this point. The last places they could be would be here left side in Swamp Palace, in the Gauntlet and G Tower, from turning in the Mushroom or checking Batcave.
Yeah, I can't think of any other locations. Did they actually check Pyramid?
Yeah.
Catfish.
Mikan checked Pyramid and then did Catfish. I don't remember what was on Pyramid, but it obviously wasn't anything good.
Makin having an okay gauntlet so far.
Yeah. You're not going to have the best gauntlet without the boots, but
yeah,
you can at least make do. And Fire Rod definitely makes it a lot easier.
Mikan has finally seen the rest of it, including a compass. If he had been counting, he would have known, but he's so desperate at this point. Went ahead and opened it anyway. And what now?
He just needs to jump in the water. But it looks like he's probably going to go...
Oh?
What's he doing? Don't you... Okay. This is it!
Yeah, he can't really be heading anywhere else at this point.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll see a forfeit. Which would be a horror.
I don't know.
But...
I don't know. That's tough. Like, you never know what's going on with your opponent.
It's one of those, especially in this situation where it's like, fake flipper. I could have gotten this so long ago. When I first went to Zora. I doubt he'll forfeit, but...
Yeah, I doubt it too.
It's gonna be so... Ugh. can't imagine.
So that
he's gonna bomb the hobo real quick.
He's gonna wait for the bomb to explode. He could have, I guess he needs to leave the screen to flip anyway, but probably could have got out of there before that bomb exploded, but hesitated just enough because he wanted to see him die. That's the kind of mood.
It wasn't the hobo's fault. It's not like he didn't call him, or he could call him or something and be like, "Hey, I got something here for you. Come get it."
It's not his job. He doesn't have a job. That's why he's a hobo.
Anything, he should have bombed himself.
That's pretty dark.
That is a little dark. I'm sorry.
Maybe we gotta go
It's
back
a
to
cartoony
Ganon's
game.
castle. I mean, it also is a story of literal evil taking over the world. So I don't know.
In charming 16-bit graphics.
Yeah, you got to gloss over the brutal murder and despair is the key. So Mikan is into Mire. He's swimming in bombs, taking out some wizards. Makin is trying to get the last hit on the Molder, is chasing him way out to the middle of the playing field, but does get him down.
All right, you could just walk by. You don't have to slash at it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these validation chest theatrics. I think just real simple, just keep it short and sweet. I like it. I approve.
So I guess at this point, Mikan now is also in go mode.
Yep.
So he'll be able to. I think he realized that he already got everything in this dungeon, so he doesn't have to do all the. Oh, it's because he didn't have a small key. That's why. Hey, it's pretty good Aga too.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was the triple or if two of them kind of got overwritten. But either way, he's down now. As the gigantic spirit of Ganon leaves the wizard's body. We must, if we want to see an exciting ending to this race, we must pray for so many mistakes for this Ganon fight.
I can't even... Because he still has to go, he has to finish this dungeon, then he's going to finish Landmole, then he still has to do all of T-Rock, and then he still has to go all the way to Ice Armos. Which I feel like a lot of people like to do the early right side in G-Tower these days, which puts that really late into the run, so...
Yeah, I guess it's more likely that a power outage just drops Makin out of this thing than deaths to Ganon will. Who knows? Maybe someone out there's got some horrible DDoS rig set up for situations like this. In which case, don't, you jerk. You
Don't do it.
Hypothetical jerk. But yeah, this is pretty much wrapped up.
Yep.
Making sure he's getting these hits in on Ganon before the fire bat comes out.
And a sub 140 in open mode is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The seed had a huge gatekeeper, which was that Mire. Oh.
There were a couple times where we were scratching our heads thinking, okay, it's gotta be in pod, right? No.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Okay. Well,
No, it's got to be nice, or in Mire. Nope.
yeah. No. Skull Woods though is gonna. Okay.
Oh, Woods. Yeah, that was also a debated so hard. I mean, we got crystals, but nothing else.
Crystals for days.
That's just how this game works. Is sometimes it's like, okay, I know exactly what I need to go do next, and then it's like, nope, just kidding. You thought wrong. You're wrong.
Yep. There's something else actually that you got to go do, and you weren't thinking
Surprise.
about it at all because you were sure that you were going the right way.
You
So
think
surprise.
you're so smart, but you nothing. You don't know none. Anyway,
At the end of the day, Makin's really smart because wisdom is 1/3 of that Triforce he's holding. Final time of 139.02. Congratulations to them.
Yeah. GG's.
Mikan cluing Makin in, forgot the hobo until like 3 minutes ago. Whoops
Oops.
is all Makin has to say in reply. I've been calling this person Makin mostly because I think that's as the opposite, as the foil to Mikan. It seemed correct. But I don't know. Maybe it's Makin. Maybe it's Makinx. Got to get Makinx on.
Oh God, please don't.
Who knows? You don't know. Don't shame.
I'm not shaming.
Regardless, I chose a name and I went with it. And
all right,
I'm sorry.
Well, you should have gone with it the whole time. I have a feeling that Mikan is contemplating whether he should quit or not. Now, forfeiting any forfeits or quits in this stage doesn't matter. It's all about wins or losses. Not until we get into group stages is I think where time differences play a part in seeding.
Mikan's asking about that actually. So let him know time does not matter. And then that means we may see a forfeit. Sometimes people want to, yeah. Sometimes people really want to see players played out, but
not when you don't have boots.
I don't know. He's got a lot of dungeons left, and it's almost dinner time, so maybe I'm okay with seeing the forfeit. But yeah, no. You play so many races. You've been on stream at before. I know Mikan is no stranger to speed gaming at this point. So he's a professional. That's not true, but that's the word I'm going with. And one race ain't no thing. We are going to get some interviews going with both players.
Well, I feel a little bit silly right now.
Mikan, hey buddy.
Hey.
It's not your fault. Actually,
not my fault, dude. Right? It's the guy, the one under the bridge. It's that dude.
I'm the hobo. He's the one that told you, who made sure that you didn't go visit him.
I'm going back there right now.
And I mean, that's what Willard said. Actually, it was like he called the hobo out for not like flagging you down. He's not like waving over. I found something really cool. None of that. Stayed silent, watched you go by.
But yeah, not only hobo, but the gamble on Pendant Thieves Town without the hammer is always a scary gamble to make.
Yeah, I feel less bad about that one, but because I still got a lot done in the meantime. But yeah, that sucks, I suppose.
Yeah, because it's also one that you're more than likely going to save until the very last resort to go back in there.
Oh, and I did.
And you did. Oh, don't worry, I done it too. So, yeah, and it's just unlucky. That's all it is. I don't think you made the wrong choice or anything. It's just you got unlucky, which happens. So, what
is your typical Lake Hylia routine? Do you usually check the island item and then swing over to Hobo and then do the whirlpool or what?
Yes. But with the addition of the 2 chests in the waterfall, I tend to go there instead of the Hobo. And I think this time I just didn't think it was worth it to go all the way down there to Fake Flippers again just to check the Hobo. So that's kind of why I didn't do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of one of those situations where the sequence break can save you or hurt you. And also going away from your muscle memory, it makes it easier to forget whether you've done a location or not.
Right, absolutely.
So, but yeah, the logic was very interesting because it was like with the Fake Flipper, you got your cane, and then your thought process is like after you all of a sudden like Mire was available, and you're like, but that would be a sequence break, wouldn't it? Because we were wondering if you were going to be able to even just completely skip Mire and Flippers. And if Book ended up being an Ice Palace or something.
Oh, that's true. I guess I didn't need it for Desert.
But Book ended up being in G Tower. So we never saw the boots, though.
Imagine that. I was so ready to go blindfold the pedestal until I remembered the Hobo halfway through Swamp.
Oh, okay. We were wondering. All right, I'm going to pull Makin in. Hello, Makin. Congratulations.
Hey there. Hey, guys. Thanks.
Yo, GG.
Thanks, man.
I went so many places. I have 40 maximum bombs, and I'm using all of them on the hobo right now.
Oh, wow. So you forgot about the hobo, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had the cane, right?
I
Mhm.
did, like, not long ago, actually.
Yeah. But I mean, the hobo had the cane, yeah.
Yes, he did.
Oh, wow.
It was that, and Mikan went into Thieves Town. When Mikan finally got into the Dark World, the first thing he did was do Skullwoods as much as he could, and then Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town, clearing all of Thieves Town without the hammer. So
wow.
then missing that mirror, and that mirror ended up being like the biggest gatekeeper in this seed.
Yeah.
Um,
That was very fortunate for me as well, because I got the mirror really late. So a lot of stuff was blocked off, and when I found the mirror, I was basically in go mode.
mhm. Which we were wondering if once you got the mirror, what choices you'd make first. And you went straight to desert where you got bombos.
I figured I'd go straight to desert to see if I needed the boots at some point, which I didn't, because compass was on the lamp. And then I found bombos in there, which was really fortunate, of course, because that was my go mode item.
Mm-hmm. And then that saves you having to check a bunch of overworld single locations that you unlocked with the mirror, which is usually a pain.
Exactly, yeah, so that saved me a lot of time. Yeah.
I have to laugh at both you guys, because
Mhm.
This
This is what I've been waiting to jump in with is keeping track of which dungeons are pendants and which ones are crystals. We had a couple of visits to places we didn't need to go to.
Exactly, yeah, I messed up twice.
it was you guys pretty much both went into Eastern and thought, oh wait, never mind. I'm out.
And then I thought, well, I'm already here, so I'll just do a quick check.
Mhm.
Luckily, the items were pretty early, so nothing on the boss.
Yeah.
So that didn't cost too much time. But then when I was in go mode, I dipped into swamp for no reason.
Yeah, we were like, why is he getting the flippers if he's already in go mode? And then we saw you go into that portal, like, oh no, please don't. And you jumped in the water, jumped out, and then left.
Yeah, I heard the dungeon music. Thought, oh wait, I didn't remember this right.
Yeah.
So I went straight out and I went to ice.
Mm-hmm. Mikan actually, I think it was, I don't remember after which, I think it was after Pod or something. Since Pod ended up having nothing, Mikan actually fake flippered and did Ice Palace really early, which, unfortunately, a full clear of Ice Palace is never fun, and it didn't have anything of value.
Oh, really?
I figured that the cane still had a chance of being in there, and I just like missed out on the mirror, so I figured I could just circumvent needing the mirror at all.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
If the cane happened to be there, and it did not.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been Kane, it could have been Book, it could have been Bombos, it could have been anything that would allowed you guys to actually skip having to get the mirror or flippers, which makes it for an interesting seed when you could sequence break to not even have to require items.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we actually did get to see all of Swamp Palace from Mikan, and it was horrible. The other sword was on Sahasrara from completing Thieves Town.
Oh, really? Well, don't need that.
Don't need that. And then silvers were right side G Tower. So
yeah, I got those.
Mhm.
Yeah, figured I'd do right side first, so that worked out.
yeah, no, silvers is always a nice thing to have.
Yeah.
Now, where are those boots?
Yeah, they could be anywhere really. I really should have checked the last two chests in Turtle Rock. I think there was at least one item there left. Could have been the boots,
true.
and I could have needed them at GT.
Yeah, that is true. That would have been extremely
Very unfortunate mistake if the boots were required for GT. Yeah. So but I already mirrored out, so I thought, well, no turning back now. And luckily, it was just Caneburna on the lamp.
Saved it. Well, overall,
Yeah.
fantastic race from you guys. GG's
Thanks.
to both of you.
I think I'm going to go practice fake flippering from Hobo.
That would be a good idea.
Because that would have like saved this whole thing.
Uh-huh. I mean, it's a kind of annoying one to route because you have to go up to Hobo, then you have to reverse fake flipper, then go down and do Zora.
Right, but
And
now it's one of
waterfall.
those things I'm never not going to do. Just like going to ice
yeah.
cave.
More often than
That's
not,
all-
it's a time wasted.
That's all it takes is you have one seed where if I had just fake flippered, I could have skipped this or done that. and then you'll never not fake flipper again. It's up to Hobo.
So yeah, today you learned something.
Boy. All
Like
it took
you guys-
was embarrassment, but it worked.
Yep. That's
So there you go.
The most powerful motivator. Well, still, good race from both of you. Congratulations, Makinx. I didn't want to call you Makinx.
Whatever, you can call me Mac, whatever.
Mac. I like that. Actually, I like that whole.
That works. Yeah, that works
Nick
out.
and Mac.
All right.
Yeah, did you guys
And
have fun
I'll
with
try
that? I was hoping.
to resist to call you Big Mac. But I mean, you won this race, so.
I'm not that big, so
All right, coming up big is Mac, who has won the race, advancing in the. It's double elimination that we're doing now, right? For Swiss.
It's Swiss.
What?
Swiss.
So
Oh,
he
we're
So
going
moves
we're
on.
gonna fight again?
It's just one win.
No. He moves on to 1-0, while Mikan moves on to 0-1, and therefore their next opponents will share the same stats as them. So Makinx will
Gotcha.
take on another person who is 1-0, and I believe the next rounds are all determined by seeding. It's not going to be random polls like the first round was.
I see. So
Alright,
I have another chance to embarrass myself. Got it.
Right. So
Oh, yeah.
well, here's the thing now.
Multiple chances.
Mikan, you lost the first race, so now then you could just get that easy 5-1, just like
Yo,
No
let's
problem.
do it.
In fact, you guys could play again as early as game. Well, no, actually, I'm pretty sure the Swiss make sure you don't face the same person again.
Yeah, I think they arranged for
no
that.
double jeopardy.
Yeah. So we don't need to rewrite the laws or anything on that one. But looking forward to seeing both of you play again in the tournament, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks. Looking forward to that as well. And
Yeah,
see you
thanks,
guys
guys.
later.
Yeah, GG. That was fun.
Okay.
GG. Alrighty. Thank you
So
guys so
bye.
much. We have some more races in the ALTTP Randomizer Open Mode Tourney coming up on. Look at the schedule.
Coming up on all
Yeah.
kinds of things. The schedule
Yeah.
is posted in chat if you're curious.
I believe our next match scheduled is going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern on Speed Gaming 2, DSIT versus Rywek, as well as we have a secondary tournament race, Vitor versus Lord Monty, which we haven't determined if that's going to be restreamed or not. But keep an eye out on the channels. Make sure to hit up all the Speed Gaming and Randomizer Mania channels. Follow those things so you don't miss a beat. Stay tuned in the Randomizer Tournament Discord as well for stuff that is things. Thank you to Tracker Tear for running Tracker. Give him a follow and lots of... What is Tear like? Tear, what's something that you like? Cookies? You like that? Give him...
Everyone likes cookies.
What's
Yo,
a
I
German
want cookies.
thing? No, I want cookies. Dang it!
A
Anyway.
schnitzel?
There it is. And
It's Oktoberfest, actually, so get in the beer.
Tara hates cookies. Wow.
What?
Well, don't give him anything. No, send him cookies then.
Also hates.
okay.
I'm done with this. Thanks for tracking rescinded tear. Are you even a person? My goodness. Look, all right. Coming up, 6:00 p.m. is the time on the East Coast, and that is when Metroid Fusion and Final Fantasy Randomizer, and also maybe Super Metroid, and again, maybe need to refresh the calendar because it's looking like we're maybe double booked there. But things are happening right now. Speed Gaming 1, Speed Gaming 2, and if you're interested in Metroid and or Final Fantasy, you should definitely head over there right now. Stop listening to us. Go.
Yeah. Go support everything, guys. Do the thing.
Everything.
Everything.
Support everything.
Thank you, Mythical, for joining me, or allowing me to join you, however you want to put it.
I joined you on this one. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's true. That's fine.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it was a hoot. And of course, thank you to Fiesel for restreaming and doing all the behind-the-scenes stuff, making sure that this tournament is looking fancy as ever. I've been Willard J. Bradley.
I've been Mythical
you guys.
9.
Bye-bye.
Couldn't do it any better than that.